Deciphering Genesis 1 with Ancient Cultural Context. Many inside and outside the religious traditions of Judaism and Christianity have tried, whether intentionally or inadvertently, to impose their contemporary lenses of interpretation onto the text, but it should be remembered that modern people are not the primary target audience into whose language and culture the Hebrew Bible has been directed. The word bara, translated as create, carries less of a material sense than one might think at first. Every time it appears in the biblical text, it can equally be interpreted as refining or healing, as in Psalm 51:10, "Create in me a clean heart." And this functional refining is hugely central to the story going forward. Some further specifications of function include the sun and the moon being unnamed to draw away from their glory, but their function is made clear in verse 14, to serve for signs, seasons, days, and years, and the final seventh day of God's taking up residence or rest in creation. Chaos Kampf seems to have been a favorite trope of the ancient world, and it often involved a god or the gods fighting a giant creature, Hebrew Tanin, in order to create the world. Tanin are shown in Genesis 1:21 as just another example of the wild animals that populate the unexplored regions of the world. I consider both these examples to show a change in mindset, as we can readily perceive the majesty of giant creatures or celestial bodies, but treating them with reverence in and of themselves counters the message of the story. We are singled out in the text as carrying the image of God, and with all this in mind, it would, in my opinion, make sense for this image aspect not to be a rationalization of why we are smarter or more dynamic than the animals, but really as a marker of our partial reflection of God's attributes, which acts as a bridge that gives us the capacity to form covenants with God shown across the Bible. We might wonder what it means for God to rest in this chapter. The Hebrew word carries a clear sense of settling down or taking up residence, and to spend 7 days arranging functions and organizing a place to settle in and establish a holy day thereafter might sound unfamiliar to us, but most likely to ancient Israelites it would immediately call to mind Solomon's temple dedication in 1 Kings 8. I think all this together can present an ancient audience's viewpoint on the story that need not be seen as having been intended as physically literal as our modern Western sensibilities might think at first reading. Thanks for watching. I hope I could spark some curiosity regarding the culture and worldview of ancient Israel.